Hello, everybody, and welcome to the breakdown of my autumn watch list. Today we're starting with Good Will Hunting. I was gonna go in alphabetical order, but then Good Will Hunting popped up pretty quickly on HBO Max, so I just went for it because it's on the list anyway. I want to preface by saying I'm not really somebody who feels like everybody needs to hear my opinion on the things, anything really. So we're gonna see how this goes. Today, I'm drinking chamomile tea with the review. Autumn Watch List is a cell of why you should watch this movie specifically in the autumn. So that's kind of, I think, what I'm gonna focus on, at least in this video. But really, if we're being honest, this movie and really all the movies on the list, it's just like vibes and color palette. It's like, oh, there's a lot of warm neutrals in this movie. I'm gonna watch it between September and November. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. If you're interested to see the whole watch list, it's right here. Take a screenshot. Good Will Hunting was written by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck in the 90s. So I just rewatched it. I watched it for the first time for a screenwriting class. So if you're like, she has a lot of pretentious things to say about this movie, it's because it's one of the movies that taught me story structure. And I would say for this movie, probably character development. The movie works so well because Will Hunting is compelling character unlike many others. Like other characters, you can kind of feel the beats, you can kind of feel the growth, you can kind of track it and guess it. But Will is intriguing because he's not seeking fame or recognition. He's in fact using what he has to avoid confronting his fears, his anxieties, his life, really. And I'm also always a big fan of coming of age films that are after high school. I feel like coming of age is dominated by high schoolers, but you come of every age. Also, I think because the writers had such a deep connection to South Boston, which is where the movie is set, you feel a connection to the setting, even though, I've never been to Boston. I certainly didn't grow up there. But they really bring the setting to life and the connection to your roots to life. Why should you watch this movie in the autumn, in the fall? Cozy up with a blanket or a sweater on. Robin Williams' cardigans in this movie are 11 out of 10. We love them. Matt Damon's rocking khaki cargo pants, like basically the whole time. It's so cozy. For some reason, the bar they go to at Harvard is, I cannot explain it. I don't know if it reminds me of like later Gilmore Girls seasons or what, but that bar is so autumn. So, yeah, the setting, the costumes, obviously great reasons to watch it. But also, I think emotionally speaking, for me, the fall is really a time of self reflection and more aware of when my emotions are uh that they're doing that. I think contemplative coming of age films are good to watch during this time. Themes of like letting go of things that are comfortable and taking risks. Those are good things to be processing at a time of like emotional shifting. If you're a movie crier, it could be like a nice little cry. That's healthy, let me tell you. So that's why we like Good Will Hunting. That's why you should watch in the fall. A few other things I just want to bring up real quick. It's so endearing to me that they're like baseball boys and they like go to the batting cages. Something about it is just so like captures the like these guys are young. Like the connection to baseball, it's a connection to like little league and their childhood passions, and so I find it very endearing. The dynamic of all the guys is very goofy. It's so childlike, but also like when the chips are down and it's time, they're all on the same exact page. At the basketball court fight scene, they know so quick that they're all about to go fight these guys. It's just like, we fight these guys. We're gonna fight these guys. We fought other guys. This is what we do. The point isn't that they should go fight people. The point is that all these things that they do together are things that you do with your homies when you're 7, when you're 13, when you're 17, and then also when you're in your early 20s if you're neglecting the part where you have to grow up and if you're avoiding that. So I love that dynamic. Obviously, Robin Williams slays. Him and Ben Stiller and Steve Carell, for me, are similar to each other in the sense that they're so funny. They do comedy so well, but they really know how to take you on an emotional journey. If you've seen this film, or really a good chunk of Robin Williams films, have this same like emotional arc. I would recommend also for Steve Carell, Dan in Real Life, you have a similar effect. And then for Ben Stiller, watch The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. It's one of my favorites. If you're like, why do you keep looking over here? It's because the dog is sitting here watching me film this, and I feel like he's my audience. You're my secondary audience. He's the main one. I love you. I would have dressed in like the theme of the movie, but I do not own cargo khaki pants, unfortunately. And that's like basically all he wears. I guess I could have put a cardigan on. Didn't think about it till right now. So, oh my gosh, totally on theme. Wow, this is actually really cozy. I'm glad I did this. If you're like a guy and you're like, should I get the Matt Damon Goodwill Hunting haircut? The answer is yes, you should. You could do that. That would be fine. We would be okay with that. I also listened to an interview Matt Damon did more recently, and he was talking about how movies then were getting funded if you could get a big name actor who was gonna basically pay the bills for the whole project. That's why they wrote Robin Williams' character, and it was just one of those eye-opening things where it was like sometimes having to accommodate for the industry leads to the movie being better, because it really would not have been the same without Robin Williams' pivotal character. Like, Will Hunting is very intriguing, as I mentioned earlier, but that would mean nothing to me without Robin Williams bouncing off of him and giving him that like extra dynamic. It was intriguing to think about, just like, yeah, the industry's weird. I think if two Boston kids wanted to write a screenplay and they wanted to write themselves as the two main characters, and they didn't have like a grounding force, but also like the fireworks of the thing, then I think it would have been a little bland. Maybe it wouldn't have won the Oscar that year. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can work with what you've got. That's just life lessons, baby. Also, if you watch it, please let me know how you liked it. You can let me know if you know me personally. You can let me know through any mode of communication: speaking to me, texting me, messaging me on Instagram, emailing me, sending a Morse code, smoke signals. Or if you don't know me personally, or this is the easiest way to tell me how you liked the movie, you can comment on this here YouTube video. Or you could do the smoke signal, whichever you prefer. Really, if we're talking like, why is this on the autumn watch list? The bottom line is the cardigans, really. And the yelling matches. There's something so autumnal about a yelling match. Like I said, I was gonna do alphabetical order. Now I don't know. Let me know, because now you have access to the watch list. Let me know what movie we should do next week and what drink. You can recommend a drink for me to drink. If it's not tea, I might not drink it. Anyway, thanks for joining me for this week's episode of Rachel's Autumn Watch List. Bling! Join me next week for I haven't decided yet. It'll be a surprise. Maybe you'll come if it's a surprise.